कि अलायंस मत तोड़िए लालू यादव
Coming in, and this is with regard with the BRICS Summit 2024, which has been held in Russia, where Prime Minister Modi has given out his statement in the BRICS Summit, where he has said that there is no place for terror. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's attending the BRICS Summit, has taken a very, very strong stand against terrorism. He has said in his statement, and I quote, he has said that India is ready to welcome new countries as BRICS partner country. All decision in this regard should be made unanimously, and the views of founding members of BRICS should be respected. He's also said that we should move forward in a timely manner for reforms in global institutions like UN Security Council, multilateral development, banks and WTO. Now, while taking forward the efforts of BRICS, he says that we should keep in mind that the image of this organization should not be such that we do not want to reform global institutions but want to replace them. Now, remember, that's a tough statement coming in from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's voiced his opinion, and he's taken a very, very strong stand against terrorism, where he has said that there is no place for
in this regard in the outcome consideration.
Ahead of that key bilateral, we learned that Prime Minister Modi has given a very, very strong statement against terrorism at the BRICS Summit, where he has said that there should be steps to prevent radicalization. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Modi is at the BRICS Summit, where he's going to hold key bilaterals. And amidst that, we have this big statement coming in from the Prime Minister, where he has spoken vocally against terrorism, against terror financing, and against radicalization. He's also gone ahead and said that India is ready to welcome new countries as BRICS partner country. Remember, there was just a statement that came few moments back from Russian President Vladimir Putin, where he has said that there are 30 countries willing to join BRICS. And soon after, what we are getting to know is that the Prime Minister has released a statement where he has taken a strong stand against terrorism, where he has said that double standards are not acceptable when it comes to terrorism. He has spoken vocally against terror financing and against radicalization. He has said, he's also given out a message of peace, where he has said that we should support dialogue and diplomacy and not war. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about here is Prime Minister being very, very vocal when it comes to establishing peace globally, when it comes to the Russia-Ukraine war, or when it comes to taking a strong stand against terror financing. I also have my colleague Abhishek Kapoor joining me live from the newsroom. Yes, Abhishek, please share more details on the Prime Minister's statement that he gave out in the BRICS Summit.
While what we hear is what we get, and Prime Minister making it plain and clear that India is not an obstructionist power, because remember, there was sort of a narrative being built that India is against some new memberships. Of course, we have problems with Pakistan, but then India is already a member with Pakistan in the SCO, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So why not BRICS? And that's why I think Prime Minister underscoring there that whosoever wants to become member of BRICS, they are more than welcome. The only issue is that BRICS again becomes then as unwieldy, say, as G77 became, or the non-alignment movement became, the NAM became, because as of now, BRICS originally, which started with 4, Brazil, Russia, India, China, got South Africa included, became BRICS. Last year had 5 more countries joining, which included Ethiopia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran, of course. And now, at last count, 32 more nations want to join BRICS, and that means the number will be going to 42. Makes it very unwieldy, is the approach that India had, not particularly opposing any nation, and that's what Prime Minister said. Apart from that, of course, India's clear position that on terrorism, the world has to unite. There can't be 2 definitions of a good terrorist and a bad terrorist, and that terror financing has to be nipped in the bud, and all those who are victims of terror have to come together and speak in one and same language. And the Prime Minister, of course, reiterating the support for Russia's presidency and, of course, broad basing of BRICS and the Charter to include like-minded nations. That's statement of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the opening comments that he has made. This is the plenary going on. Every meeting is behind by about 30 to 45 minutes. And Tanisha, the much-awaited and most anticipated meeting of Prime Minister Modi with President Xi Jinping also now slated to take place at around 5:15 p.m. instead of the earlier 4:30, 4:45 p.m. band as it was expected.
Right, Abhishek. Very, very strong statements given out by the Prime Minister there at the BRICS Summit. And like you were telling us how there are many more countries that are willing to take part in the BRICS Summit, that are willing to be a part of the BRICS Summit. But what I would also like to focus here on is the strong statements coming from the Prime Minister when it comes in regard with terrorism, terror financing and radicalization. Do you believe it's a direct attack on Pakistan when Prime Minister makes such statements at a global platform such like the BRICS Summit?
Well, India is a victim of terror, been so for the last 3 decades, with all terror emanating from Pakistan. And so obviously, Prime Minister had to underscore, like we do at every multilateral and global platform, that terrorism has to be nipped in the bud. Terrorism has to be tackled without any equivocation as to what's a good terrorist and a bad terrorist, and for that, terror financing has to be tackled. We have been working on that in the Financial Action Task Force, which is a UN-mandated body. We have been working on that even in the United Nations and have been victorious in many ways insofar as diplomatic war on terror is concerned. Tanisha, and our efforts continue to sort of create a narrative that terror per se becomes untouchable, and that any nation, society backing terror is uncomfortable doing so. And, even standing in all these multilateral platforms, it's important because Pakistan also has applied to become part of BRICS, essentially a geo-economic grouping. And India has always insisted that let the focus largely remain on this being a geo-economic and geostrategic platform. Though, of course, as External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had said some time back, speaking at in the United States, that how can India be a member of the SCO, of the Quad, of the BRICS, of G20, among others. And he said that we can chew our gum and walk as well. And that really gets reflected in the kind of diverse platforms that India is member of, India is part of, and gets engaged, gets involved, so that our concerns are listened to, our interests are taken care of, and like it happened in the case of BRICS. Because remember, for example, the 2 bilaterals that took place yesterday between Prime Minister and President Putin of Russia and President Pezeshkian of Iran, those become occasions and moments to really push India's agenda further, India's self-interest further, and that seems to be happening.
Right, Abhishek. Like you were saying, all eyes are now on the big meeting that the Prime Minister is going to hold with Xi Jinping. And we learned that we are getting in fresh visuals of the BRICS Summit, which has begun. And in just